Okay, ready for Tiger Talk. Got my hat, got the mic, sang my Taylor songs. Let's get ready to go.
Uh, you aren't Coach Moore.
I'm with the YTSAA,
The what?
the YouTube Scholastic Athletic Association. I'm here to inform you you need to sit out this week's Tiger Talk.
What? Why?
Well, there's a problem with your application.
A problem? You mean you check every application for every YouTube video that's posted? I mean, aren't there like thousands of them?
Thousands. Try millions, you simpleton.
Oh, so there was a problem with something I wrote on mine?
Well, I don't know, actually. I haven't even read it yet.
But I turned it in months ago before the season even started. I followed all the rules.
Yes, but I can't read all these. So until I read them, you can't host the show.
This was such a huge game. I want to talk about the penalties, the hurdling, the quitting. Who's going to host the show?
Let me host, Dad. Put me in. I can do it.
Son, I can't send you in. This week? Do you know how hard it is to get an answer from Coach Moore? You can't do it.
I can do it.
You don't even like Taylor Swift. How are you going to bond with Becca?
Wait. He can't do it either until I process his paperwork.
Can we just look at it now? I'm about to do the show.
Wait a minute. I see you're in Florida.
Yeah.
And this is about Massillon. Are you transferring in? What do you think you are? A private YouTube show? No, it says you're public. We just can't have people posting videos if they think they're public, like we live in a free country.
Wait a minute. Is that a red shirt you're wearing under that sweater?
No. What? Where?
Pizza Oven or Krause's?
Pizza Oven. Oh, I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
I knew it. Nice try, Bulldog. There would be a system that wouldn't read applications for weeks and then punish someone by making them sit out. That was unbelievable from the beginning. Where would anything like that ever happen? Welcome to Tiger Talk episode 27. I am your host, Scott Ryan, and we have
host number 2, Becca Moore, along with Emmy/Chris, number 8, and, Coach Moore.
Welcome everyone to the show. Thanks for joining us. I don't know if there's much to discuss about this week's game. It was kind of just run of the mill. Nothing really stands out, but we'll try to come up with something. Let's start with 2nd and 42. That's a new one. Do you have a play in the playbook for 2nd and 42, Coach?
Not really. But somehow we got one to work. Right? Chris, you wanna walk them through that? What play did we run for that? What play did we run?
He just knows they got it.
Yeah,
they got a first
I know
down.
we got it. What play did we run?
It was a pass.
Oh, we did. The one to Braylon, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, so we have a play concept where it's basically like an over-under. I come across the field at a 15 at the 15-yard line, and Braylon just takes a real skinny post all the way down. So either I'll be open right on it, or Braylon will be open. It's usually Braylon because it's Braylon.
What kind of pressure would you have felt, Emmy, to make that? I mean, when it's 2nd and 42, are you thinking, what, we're punting next play? This is never going to happen. Or are you thinking, I know, I'm going to catch this ball at 43 yards?
I'm thinking either if it comes to me, I have to catch it. I have to make the play. It's a lot of pressure. My mind's racing. It's hard. But if it's not, either DeJuan's going to make the run, and he always shows that he can make that play, or Braylon, one of the best hands on the team, is going to make the play either. So it's a win-win either way.
What were the linemen saying when the penalties keep getting thrown and you guys are getting backed up?
They were getting mad, like mad. I just hear them yelling. I had to stop them from yelling at each other at one point. But
Yeah.
I'm sure you don't know, Coach, but is that about the longest first down? Have you ever made a 2nd and 42, a 3rd and 42 before?
That's probably the longest. I can certainly not think of anything.
Yeah, I think you go back to Brian Gamble's in the St. Ed's game, which has gone down in Massillon history, and that was 3rd and 38 maybe or something, or 3rd and 30, or I don't remember. But I'm gonna be honest, I was thinking 3rd down, we quick kick and let's let this go. And then this is why I don't call the plays. Because I did not think it would happen. Becca, tell us what we learned about hurdling this week.
So, as you know, Coach Moore pulled out his playbook, because they called it back, which was an amazing run. So if you haven't seen it, you should watch it because it was pretty amazing. But so from Dr. Seth, he said, okay, so here is my research for Tiger Talk on the hurdling penalty. I did research and found this clip from 2015 Elira game where the discussion occurred on hurdling. The quarterback hurdlers the defender and no penalty was called. So that was in 2015. The Ohio High School Athletic Association guy, Rugg, who oversees the officiating committee, said the call was correct because the National Federation of State High School Associations rulebook defines hurdling as, quote, an attempt by a player to jump, hurdle with one or both feet foremost over an opponent who is contacting the ground with no part of his body except one or both feet. So it was an incorrect call last night, as Coach Moore clearly tried to explain to the refs. I have included in my research some pictures. We'll show you these from the play in 2015. So we're going to show you a still shot. So obviously in real time, his knee hits the ground, just like the play from Elira. This is why he says he's on the National Nerd Olympic team, Coach Moore. But he just wanted you to know that he did his research for Tiger Talk, and Coach Moore was right, and the refs made the wrong call.
And you would have kept a timeout had they overturned it? I don't ever remember seeing that before, where they took a timeout away because of that. What's that about?
Yeah, if you ask for a conference based on a rule that you feel like has been misapplied, if they deem that they did not apply the rule, that they did apply the rule correctly, then you lose a timeout.
And I'm pretty sure that was the only penalty thrown in that game, right? It was that one time.
There's maybe one or two more.
I forgot my flag. I had a flag ready.
Yeah, my gosh. Emmy, what did you think of all of those flags, and how do you feel Massillon held it together as a team with that adversity?
We've been working on the walkaway drill a lot, all those flags and how they kept trying to fight, and it was just mayhem. But I think we handled it very well and just walked away and kept our cool. There were a few instances when some of our players got mad, but the rest of our players would just come and back them up and push them away and keep them away from all that foolishness and all that. So I think we handled it very well.
Coach, when you reviewed the film, how do you feel your team did keeping their composure?
I think generally we did pretty well. I can't comment on the refs assessment, but I thought we did well. There's things that you cannot get off of the film when it comes to especially personal fouls, especially when they're being thrown because of words. You're not going to get that off the film. So, but from what I could assess, I think there was. I'm sorry, I cannot comment on the referees.
Yeah, I'm not even asking about the refs.
I think our kids handled themselves pretty well most of the night.
That's what I think. I think if people go back and would watch Tiger Talk from the beginning, I've been hard on the team when they've misbehave because I hate personal fouls. Like, who cares what the other team does? And I thought Massillon played spectacularly and held everything together. To me, it looked like the other team just did they not know who the Massillon Tigers were? That's what I felt like. They got off the bus and they're like, "We're in the Midwest. Where is this town? I've not heard of Krause's Pizza, and I'm not impressed." And they just rolled in here, and then they were like, "What? They're punching us in the face," and this team just lost it. That's my
Figuratively.
I mean, like just like jumping off sides, like being 2 yards behind before we snap the ball. Like they couldn't hold it together. And I think our team did a great job. The play that we have to discuss, we're not going to comment on the refs, but it's important because it's being portrayed in the media and then outside of Facebook, which I realize we don't really care about, but that's what Tiger Talk is here for, to tell the truth. The last play of the game, their quarterback fell down. Their quarterback was running, he slipped and he fell and he got hurt. Massillon did not target that player. They did not hurt that quarterback. I mean, that's the film I saw. When you resaw that play, Coach, was the game called because Massillon attacked their quarterback?
No. I think that so what happened after the game was the referee asked me to come out on the field. I assume he asked the other coach to come out on the field as well. We met in the middle of the field. The referee said, "Listen, guys, this game's getting really, really out of hand. I recommend that we end the game." But the referees cannot end the game. They don't have the authority to do that. A game can only be ended early by mutual agreement of the head coaches. And so with us being in the lead, that's really up to that guy, the opposing head coach. And so he concurred with the referee. And so, I was fine taking the win at that point. So that's how that happened. The hit on their quarterback, that just like when you're watching college football and a lot of those targeting calls. I mean, when you're sitting in the studio or at your house or whatever, and you can rewind the thing and you can slow it down, like that's a whole different ballgame than being on the field and playing in real time. And whether it was targeting or not or whatever, it was definitely not malicious. Our kid was playing football. It was a football move. Or it was a football act. Their kid slid, but that's when you're coming in full speed for the tackle, and that happens at the last second. There's not a whole lot that you can really do about that. So, our kid, I didn't have any problem with what our player did. Now, that being said, you don't wish an injury on anybody.
No.
But our kid was playing football, that's my assessment at the end of the game. There you go.
Yeah, and I wondered what was going on. They had the camera on you, and you guys were shaking hands, and I thought, I don't know that I've seen this before in the middle of a game. But just for like people outside who weren't at the game, take a look at it before you make a opinion of how it went. That's what I think. What did you think of the game? I mean, like, are you going to remember that game forever? And what was your favorite play for you personally?
My favorite play was the catch I made for the first down across the middle. Because I went through a collarbone break and I was terrified I was going to get hit right on my shoulder and it was going to mess up. So I was terrified, but I came out uninjured and thank God. But that was my favorite play. But what I think of the game is they played with no class at all. In that play I made after I was down, a player came up, hit me like in my gut. They played with no class whatsoever, and I was just glad nobody came out hurt on our team. That I'm sad they got hurt, but I'm glad nobody on our team got hurt from their lack of class in playing the game. So
Thanks for saying that, because I agree with you. And also, I saw them hit you and there not be a penalty. And I like that you didn't fight back. Like that's because they're going to get you. You know, it's funny that one of our players got a personal foul for helping one of their players up. I mean, that's strange, but I still think it's good in that way. But so I appreciate your class, and I've said this ever since we started Tiger Talk. That's going to matter so much longer than the wins or the losses or the yards. Like representing Massillon, people are going to remember that forever, how you represent. I mean, there are players that I can think of that didn't represent us well, and there's ones that did. And that's what someday you'll be an old timer Massillon fan and you'll remember all these things. So it makes a difference.
And I think it's important too, like people understand, because I asked this question and Nate can explain this, like we don't choose the refs. Like how are the refs like chosen or assigned to us? Because I heard a bunch of them be like, if you would have chosen better refs, but like we don't have anything to do with that, right? How are those refs like chosen?
So we have an assigner who's our assigner is actually out of Cleveland, and so we end up with a fair amount of Cleveland crews, a decent amount of Youngstown area crews, and every once in a while Stark County, but most of our crews are from Cleveland. So our assigner is essentially a neutral party that assigns our refs to our games, and we pay our refs better than most, so we usually get good referees. I know that's every game there's calls that you think should have been made or shouldn't have been made or whatever, but I think in general we have good crews at our home games. Every year it seems like we have pretty good crews most of the time or all of the time, and then you get to playoffs and things really fall apart referee wise, and I think that's because really good refs want to work our games because we're Massillon, and B, we pay better than most people, so why not take the better paycheck? So I think in general, our crews are really good.
Yeah. Especially if you have 5,000 people booing you. I'd be like, I'm still getting paid.
Listen, those guys have a tough job, and I'm,
right.
Far be it from me to make an excuse for a ref. But those guys have a tough job. There's no instant replay in high school, so there's no way to go back if it was a bang call and make sure you got it right. Those guys are making decisions in real time. They're working real jobs during the week. It's a hobby for them. Fans give those guys a break, I think.
Yeah, I want to say that to me, it wasn't the refs that lost control of that game. It was the coaching staff on the other side. And that's not coming from me. That's coming from people in my section 14 that said they were throwing headsets. They lost control. I think they just lost control of the game. It happens sometimes. I don't think they were prepared, and we were, so we won. Yay. Anything else from the game from you, Emmy? Anything that you can think of before you move on to Fitch?
No, I think that's really much it.
Yeah.
Just so you know, you missed it. It was homecoming, so alumni cheerleader were there. We had a class was there. I forget which class it was, but it was
83.
83, yeah. But it was really fun to see. There was a big turnout. We had a great turnout, so I appreciate it. Got loud.
The fans were into it.
The fans were definitely into it. So if you weren't there, the fans, you were incredible. And when I don't care what game we play, I think when that many people show up, isn't it awesome?
Yeah,
it's like awesome. It's really awesome. So because I can hear them on the other side of the field, so it was really cool.
Yeah, I agree. This year, the fans have been like old school Massillon. I don't know what the difference is this year, but there is a remarkable difference between the fandom this year and previous years. So I like it. It makes me happy. Let's move on to Fitch. What can you tell us about Austintown this year, Emmy?
This year, once again, it's I we had to talk about it in the locker room. It's personal for us. I'm not going to go into detail, but I think they have really good players. They can do things, but I feel like we're gonna go in and steamroll them.
Yeah, I'd go with that plan. You might as well. I mean, why not? You're gonna have good chicken and pizza, I know, because anytime you're heading that way, it's you're always going to. Coach, what can you tell us about Fitch? Are they a passing team, a running team? What's their bread and butter this year?
So they have a really good quarterback, returning starter from last year. Kid can really throw it. It is an athlete, can run as well. They've got and he's committed to, I think it was Toledo. I'm not sure if it still is. Maybe it still is. But I think he's got a commitment to a MAC school. I think he has a safety. He also starts at safety for him, number 9.
Wow.
They've got a running back committed to Ball State. He's a good player. Their offensive line, that they're not as big as some of the teams that we play, but they do get after it. They run their feet and try to finish blocks, get off the ball. They've got some good receivers. They've got a receiver with a Penn State offer, a sophomore, young guy, 6'5". Number 3, another receiver is a 3-year starter, good player, the Evans kid. And then number 16 is a good player for him at receiver. So they've definitely got weapons on the offensive side of the ball. I would say most of their big plays so far this year have been through the air. But, they have that running back committed to Ball State, so they do have a good running back, and the quarterback can run.
Oh, we know David Letterman went to Ball State, so it's a good place to go, is my assumption.
This is our first,
away game.
But yeah, first A game.
So how do you feel about that, Emmy? I love away games. I think they're so much fun. I love going into hostile environments. How do you feel about playing an away game?
I personally don't like away games at all.
Well, what's the difference? Why do you not like them?
It's just something about being on your home field, knowing everybody you're playing in front of, like you probably seen around town or driven past them, and it's I just can't explain it. It's something about being on the home field. All the fans know you, they love your team, but when you go away, it's nothing but booze,
So think about how people feel coming into here.
Yeah. So, yeah.
That's fun. See, I like it. I like getting the food there. You don't know where you're going to park. Where am I going to sit? Who am I going to sit by? It's not the same people. I love everything about away games and playoffs. That's when, to me, the season truly comes alive. One more thing about the St. John's thing, because I did see people asking this online and I don't know the answer. Did we have a 1-year contract with them or a 2?
1.
Okay. So we'll leave it at that. And Becca and I were not very fair here. We forgot to give Emmy some prep time. But if he watches the show, he should know what's coming. So all season long, we've been playing team versus host, a football trivia question. So you need to ask Becca and I a football trivia question, and we're going to see if we can get it right. You're going to roll that dice, and whoever face is on there, that they have to answer. It could be me, could be Becca and me. And then you ask us a question, and Coach Moore will say who got it right.
Okay.
I think this is pretty crucial for us to win here, too, Becca.
Oh, God.
Me, unfortunately, I quit. So we're going to call it. No. I mean, is Becca's face even on that damn dice? I swear I put Becca's face on there. What's your question? It could be about your position, could be about whatever. Do you have it? I can fill if you're thinking. This is what I'm great at. It's just talking nonsense.
Not good at thinking of questions.
Good. Make it easy.
What is Jaquez Carter's number on the jersey number?
Number 7.
Yes, that's correct.
You
Yes.
needed that, Becca, because I think if we lost this one, the season was done for us. Because I think we had 5, and now it's 5-3. So we got Warren
holding
and
on.
McKinley. It'd be nice if we got next week and it all came down to McKinley, wouldn't it? That's just the way we'd really like the season to go.
Yeah.
So we're still in it. Thank goodness I didn't quit. I almost did. So I just have to real quick say thanks to Bob Canode, Alex Ryan, and Jen Ryan for helping me with the cold open. I hope everyone enjoyed it, and we will be back next week for Warren.
Oh, already. All right. Until next time, TIG.
ERS.